Hola Spain food lovers, and have I got a culinary treat for you? I'm on the road again. I'm in the province of Cuenca in central Spain, just off the main highway, the A3, and I found this restaurant here called El Basco. Typical Manchego food mixed with Basque flavours as well. And I'm really looking forward to my meal today. So let's go and sit down. Now I'm going to say that I'm looking forward to this meal today. The restaurant looks nice. The interior decor, as you guys can see behind me, decent, especially since it is one of these roadside cafes, not actually on the main highway. You've got to get off the main highway a little bit to find this restaurant. It's called El Basco, the Basque, so obviously the cuisine is a mix of the traditional La Mancha food, Manchego food, and also Basque food. And we'll take a look at the menu and I'll show you guys exactly what I have ordered today. But as I said, looking forward to it. So the restaurant, as we can see, El Basco in Villarrubio, it's been here since 1945, which says a lot. We've got the first courses here, or things to share, para abrir boca, to open your appetite. We've got ensaladilla rusa, fairly typical, chistorra basca, obviously the Basque restaurant, chistorra basca, loma de orza, croquetas, morteruelo con quince, riñones de cordero lechal, jamón ibérico, queso, pastel, migas, and different things here. Also soup dishes, pucheros, or you eat them with a spoon. And also we've got some vegetarian options here, I think. Nuestra huerta. On the other side, we've got fish, meat, dessert. You can see some of the prices that we've got going on here. But what I've ordered today is mortuelo. I've also ordered a sopa de ajo and also migas del pastor. And again, I've gone for typical dishes from this part of Spain, La Mancha, typical Manchego food. And as I said, maybe I've said it 2 or 3 times already, I'm looking forward to the meal. Let's wait for the first thing to come out. Just give you guys a quick look at the decor in the restaurant, a quick look around to show what we're dealing with here. Looks decent. Let's hope the food lives up to the same quality. Today's drink or bebida is water, agua, driving, so I can't drink wine, which is a shame because, as you guys know, I like a glass of wine or two every now and again, especially with my meal, but unfortunately not the case, so water. And I think this water is also from Cuenca, Solán de Cabras. Decent drop. First course has arrived. Muchas gracias. So, the typical sopa de ajo, which I think I've tried in this area. I think in another roadside diner that I stopped at, this was also on the menu. It was part of the menu del dia. Today I'm ordering a la carte, so this is around €9, I think. But I'll show you guys the exact total of the meal today at the end, so stay tuned for that. Now, what have we got here exactly? I'm going to say it looks appetizing. So, the traditional soup in this part of Spain, sopa de ajo. We've got garlic in here, we've got a broth, probably a ham broth or maybe a chicken broth as well. We've got bread, which is throughout it. We can see here bread that has been soaking in the soup. We've got pieces of ham. What else have we got? Can I find anything else in this soup? No, I think that's just about it. And as we can see here, garlic. You can see that there, a little piece of garlic. Sopa de ajo. Some bread on the side, which I imagine you can also dip in. So wowee, let's get stuck into this absolutely delicious looking soup. Now I might have mentioned this the first time that I ate sopa de ajo, or sopa castellana I think it's called in some other parts of the country, but it is a very flavoursome broth with these other ingredients in. On a cold day like today, it's around 7 or 8 degrees Celsius in this part of Spain. A cold day, this soup is going to go down a treat. Let's try it. There's a smoky flavour. You can taste the ham. You can taste the garlic as well. I think there's egg inside here as well. But the different ingredients in this soup, unbelievably tasty. And as I said, on a cold day like today, it's warming my belly. The flavour of the ham, there's also a slight hint of garlic, and the bread, wow, what a combination. And the egg as well. I don't know if you can see those things there hanging off the spoon, but that's egg. And I might have said this before, but in winter time here in Spain, this is my favourite soup. Try some of this bread, garlic bread by the look of it. Got a bay leaf in here, which I'm going to remove, adding to the flavour, of course. In this area here, Castilla-La Mancha, the province of Cuenca, I don't think I've had a bad meal. And of course, when you get your favourite soup, it adds to the experience. Qué maravilla de sopa, de verdad. What a wonderful soup. And I'm going to finish it all off. I'm going to leave this bowl dry if I can. So the soup was perfect. Now, if that's the only thing I eat today, I'll be happy. But I've got two more things coming out, so let's wait for those. Now, you might be wondering how I find these places. Do I just drive along the highway and stop at any random place? Well, the answer is no. I do a little bit of research before I head out. I looked up the best restaurants on the side of main roads here in Spain, and this was one of the top ones on the A3 road. But as I said, not exactly on the A3 road. You have to take a bit of a detour, but not far away from it. And the magazine said that it was a good restaurant, good quality food, and judging by the first course that I've had today, they weren't wrong. Muchas gracias. Now my second dish has arrived, and if there's a more traditional dish in this part of the world, I'll go he. Migas del pastor con chistorra and huevo here on top, egg on top, which looks to be perfectly cooked. Let's have a look at exactly what I've got. So we've got the migas, breadcrumbs, fried breadcrumbs in olive oil and garlic, I believe. We've also got chistorra, which is a type of sausage from the Basque country. Very, very flavoursome sausage it is. In fact, I can't get this off my fork, so I'm going to have to eat it. And also the fried egg on top. Let's do the yolk test. Wow, look at that. Look how well cooked this egg is. And my mouth is absolutely watering. Now, I think what you have to do here is break the egg up like you would with the huevos rotos, and then mix it all in here together. And then, of course, the plate or the dish takes on a whole different aspect. You get all of these ingredients here mixed together. And I'm going to say it looks appetizing. Let's see if it is. Let's dig in. Let's get some of these migas on my fork. A little bit of the chorizo. And also some of this egg whose yolk has mixed in with all of the breadcrumbs that we have here. Let's go. It's unbelievable that something so simple can taste so good. And this is another example of comfort food, winter comfort food, that here in Spain is second to none. So the migas, the style of migas, because in different parts of the country you'll find different styles. For example, in Extremadura, they do migas a different way, I think. In Malaga, that you'll also find migas done differently. But here in Castilla-La Mancha, this is how they do migas. And with the chistorra, which is a flavoursome piece of sausage, smoky flavour, not spicy at all, but a very, very nice combination. All of the different things that I've got on my fork currently. The migas are not crunchy. They're a little bit soft, but very, very nice. There's a hint of garlic there as well, but it's not overpowering. And we've also got these little pieces of pork belly, or torreznos, I think they're called here in Spain, adding to the flavour. Now, I don't think I'm going to be able to finish all of this, so I'll get it for takeaway. My son loves this, so he'll be happy when he gets home from school, as he usually is when I record these videos. Now let's wait for the final thing that I have ordered today, which is also a local specialty. And I'm looking forward to it because I don't think that I've tried it before. Muy bien. Muchas gracias. All right, so exactly what have I got here? Take a look at what I've got in the bowl. This is a type of pate. Not sure exactly what it is, but I've gone to the internet to find out exactly, so I'll read that out right now, what I have found. So, Morelo is a Spanish pate originating from Cuenca. Although there are numerous varieties of this pate, in its basic form it typically consists of pork liver, various spices, and meats such as quail, partridge, and hare. The cooked pork liver is ground in a mortar and then combined in a pan with spices, other meats, breadcrumbs, and either broth or milk. In local tapas bars, Morelo is typically served in a clay pot with homemade bread on the side. It is recommended to pair the pate with a glass of robust red wine. And that is the only thing that is missing today, the robust red wine. unfortunately. Let's have a look at this dish close up. So I'm interested to see what the consistency of this is. Pate style dish that I have in front of me. We've also got the bread that this pate is going to go on to. Not a traditional pate, not a French style pate as we saw in the ingredients, but the consistency, as I said, quite thick, and it's going to go on that bread there nicely, I reckon. So let's get some of this bread and let's just try a little bit on top, see what it's like. Smell. Interesting. Messy. There's definitely a livery taste to it. Some spices in there as well. It's difficult to describe. Not a usual pate, but there are some similarities. You can definitely taste different types of meat in there. Let's go in for some more. But I can understand that for the faint-hearted, visually, it's not very attractive, but it is tasty. There's a smoky flavour to it as well, and a type of richness similar to other patés. In fact, the more I have of it, the more I like it. And I reckon I'm going to finish it off. Gone. That was tasty. So my first experience with Morelo in Cuenca has been a positive one, I will say. Now, I reckon that's me done and dusted today. I'm not going to order any dessert. I've had enough with the first course, with that soup, which was very, very filling. Second course, the Migas, very, very filling also. And this final thing here, which was surprisingly tasty, has filled me up to the absolute brim. So I'll just wait for the wait person to take this away. And I'll give you my final thoughts, ask for the bill, and we'll check out what the price of the meal has been today. And a definite shame that I couldn't wash this meal down today with a nice glass of local red wine, because the wines here in Cuenca are also surprisingly good. Alright, so the bill has arrived and it has been paid. The total price today, 23 euros and 40 cents, if you can see it there. The breakdown, the soup, 9 euros. Migas, 7 euros and 50 cents. Half a serve of that pate, the Morelo, 5 euros and 40 cents. Water, 1 euro 50. Some bread here that I haven't been charged for, which is an absolute pro. So can't complain about that. 23 euros and 40 cents, as I said, the total price. So my final thoughts on the meal today. I'm going to have to speak up because I've got a very noisy table here to my left. The soup was absolutely delicious. All of the different ingredients in that soup, from the ham, the egg, the bread, the broth, can't go wrong. If you're traveling in this part of the country in winter, definitely have that soup. That's all I can say. The migas, again, an absolute classic dish in this part of the country. The breadcrumbs, the garlic, the pancetta that's also in there as well, the chistorra, the egg on top, which was perfectly cooked. You saw the way I cut that egg and the yolk ran out on top of the migas. Absolutely fantastic. And the final thing, the local pate, the Cuenca-style pate, Morelo, which is difficult for me to say, I'm going to say. I was surprised how good it was and how much I enjoyed that dish. Spread on top of the bread as you would do with a normal pate, an absolute delight to eat, and I'll definitely order that another time when I'm in this part of Spain. Difficult to describe exactly what those flavors were, but you could definitely taste the meats, you could taste the spices, and the combination and the texture was lovely. The service was incredible. The person that waited my table today was very, very friendly and very, very attentive. She gave me the rest of those migas to take away in a nice container, which I have here. So high marks for the wait staff here. Basically, that's it. Questions and comments, please leave them in the section below. If you have eaten in this part of Spain, if you have tried some of the things that I had today, let me know in the comment section below. Would you try the things that I ate today? If you haven't tried them already, let me know also in that comment section below. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. I'll see you in the next one. Hasta luego from El Vasco in Cuenca,